The file wasn't meant for you to see. A sealed folder, stamped with insignias you don't recognize, slid across a table in some fluorescent-lit chamber you'll never enter. And yet here you are. Your name scrawled on the first page, bolded, underlined, highlighted with the kind of urgency reserved for people who disturb sleeping powers. You've been noticed, not by neighbors, not by co-workers, not by background extras in your daily life. No, a high-ranked figure, the kind whose approval shifts economies, whose silence breaks nations, has marked you as different. Their eyes cut through the static and landed on you. That gaze is no compliment. It is a spotlight that erases excuses, a red siren spinning above your head. Your life, from this point on, will never run on the rails it once did. They never explain why they notice someone. They don't leave memos. They don't clap their hands and congratulate. But I'll tell you the unfiltered truth. They notice because you pulse differently. You leak energy through your skin like voltage humming in broken wires. While the rest shuffle through their gray routines, you move like an uncalculated variable, too sharp to ignore, too dangerous to classify, and the powerful despise what they can't classify. You're not supposed to be here, not supposed to register on their radar, yet you spiked, and now you're logged. That door you didn't know existed, hidden in plain sight, bolted, forbidden, just slid open a crack. You can't close it. You can't unring that alarm. But here's the paradox you now live inside. Attention from the top is both fuel and crosshair. The moment they circle your name, two debates erupt in rooms you'll never step into. First debate, is this individual an asset? A force to weaponize? A spark to absorb before it becomes a blaze? Second debate, or should they extinguish you before your rise destabilizes everything they've carefully arranged? You now exist in that tension, suspended between recruitment and erasure, intrigue and threat. That's what being noticed really means. It's not applause, it's trial. And I need you to process the weight of this. You did not lobby for it. You did not audition. You didn't crawl or beg. Your energy betrayed you. Something about the way you carry chaos in your veins. Something about the way your silence infects rooms. Something about the way you won't submit to smallness. It gave you away. The powerful don't waste their gaze on ornaments or on polished performers desperate for validation. They only study weapons. They only calculate catalysts. You've been logged in their database as both. Now most people would collapse here. They'd take this recognition as flattery, lick it up like desperate dogs, and start performing like circus acts to keep the gaze alive. That's how clowns are born. That's how pawns stay pawns. But you aren't built for choreography. You're built for disruption. You're the human equivalent of a red alarm blinking in a sterile laboratory. A breach, a rupture, an intruder signal that can't be ignored. That's why you were noticed. That's why your life just fractured into before and after. Don't misunderstand this as opportunity wrapped in gold. It's a door, yes, but not a safe one. Behind that door, the air is heavier. The rules are unwritten. The walls move. You'll find rewards there, access, leverage, forbidden corridors. But you'll also find teeth, hands ready to pull you apart, rooms where your confidence will be dissected under a microscope. And here's the cruelty. You don't get to choose whether you walk through it. The moment the powerful turned their eyes toward you, you were already dragged inside. You are already in the chamber. So what happens now? Everything. The ground beneath your routine dissolves. Friends sense the shift before you do. They'll treat you differently, even if they can't name why. Strangers will hesitate around you, like they smell the burn of recognition seared into your skin. Doors that once required begging will creak open without you asking. But don't confuse that with freedom. New doors always lead to deeper labyrinths, and labyrinths are designed to test who deserves the center. You've been entered into that test without consent, and the powerful will watch whether you crumble or become the very beast they feared. And let's strip away illusions. This isn't luck. This isn't some divine roll of dice. Luck doesn't pull eyes this sharp. Threat does. Promise does. You are both. You are contradiction incarnate, unresolved, uncontained. That is why you've been noticed. Because you're the unanswered equation scrawled on their board, the unstable compound in their laboratory, the wild frequency jamming their signals. You make them nervous without lifting a finger, and nervous is the last thing they want to be. The reality is almost savage in its simplicity. The instant they looked at you, they lost something. Why? Because focus is energy, and they handed you a portion of theirs just by acknowledging your existence. They legitimized you. And legitimacy is irreversible. You can deny someone all you want, but the moment you notice them, you've already confessed they matter. That confession, unspoken, subtle, is leverage. Whether you wield it or waste it, that leverage is now chained to your name. But I won't let you romanticize this, because attention from above doesn't just crown you, it brands you. From here on out, your mistakes will echo louder, your choices will ripple farther. Every word you spit, every silence you hold, will be replayed by those who outrank entire continents. They will poke at your weaknesses, amplify your doubts, bait you with poisoned opportunities. And at the same time, they will test whether you are a threat they can control or one they must fear from a distance. You are no longer living for yourself. You are living in a theater where the audience wears badges, medals, and rings soaked in old blood. So you have two paths. Become their entertainer, their puppet, their trained spectacle, cheered until you're discarded. Or stand like the breach you are, uncontainable, unpredictable, the nightmare they never intended to document but now can't erase. That's the crossroads recognition drops you into. Most take the first path. That's why no one remembers their names. But you. You didn't get noticed because you were ordinary. You got noticed because you cracked their radar without permission. And cracks spread. Cracks always spread. Your life won't resume its old rhythm. That rhythm is dead. You've been conscripted into a different tempo now. The tempo of whispered meetings, coded evaluations, unseen nods that tilt power one way or another. You're not watching the game anymore. You're inside it. And inside it, there's no room for hesitation. There's only escalation. So burn this into your skull. Being noticed is not the destination. It's the detonation. Your detonation. The explosion that announces you as both question and answer. From this moment forward, you don't get to shrink. You don't get to crawl back into anonymity. The eyes are on you, and eyes this powerful don't blink. And now, the only question left, the one that will decide whether this attention devours you or exalts you, isn't what they see in you. It's what you see in yourself. Because if you still don't recognize the dangerous architecture of your own being, if you still think you're just another body, you've already failed. The door is open, the spotlight is hot, and the watchers are waiting for your move. Let's be clear, the watchers are not just eyes. They are filters, lenses, scanners, programmed to detect threat and promise at the same time. They are the analysts in dark rooms filled with smoke and static screens, asking one another, Do we contain this one, or do we study them? Do we kill the fire, or do we harvest its heat? They are the council behind the curtain, the faces you'll never meet, but whose whispers bend the decisions that bend your life. And the fact that you've been pulled into their field of awareness should terrify you more than any bullet, because bullets end you. Eyes reshape you. Eyes rewrite you. Eyes drag you into an orbit where your very existence destabilizes their gravity. You've already crossed into their map, and here's what you need to grasp. Maps are not neutral. Maps are weapons. When they redraw lines, nations rise or fall. When they circle a name, it's no longer just ink on paper. It's a declaration of power. And your name has been circled. Somewhere in an office with locked steel cabinets and encrypted drives, you exist now in bold type. That is not something you can erase. That is not something you can walk away from. You have been drafted into their geography, pulled into the network where decisions at the top slice down like guillotines. Now think, why you? Why did they notice you and not the other millions who stay crawling, who stay invisible, who scream for attention and still go unheard? Because your energy betrayed you? You radiate too much voltage for camouflage. Your presence hits like interference on a broadcast, too sharp, too jagged, too loud to ignore. While they expect the masses to stay docile, you created static in their control room. You disturbed the clean frequency, and when their machines glitched, your pulse showed up as a foreign signal. That's why they looked closer. That's why their eyes adjusted. That's why a new file was opened in your name. Do you understand what this means? You are no longer anonymous. Anonymity is safety. Anonymity is invisibility. You just lost both. But in return, you inherited something most will never touch. A seat at a table you weren't invited to, but can no longer be kicked away from. That's the paradox. They want to control you, but by noticing you, they validated you. And validation is fuel. Validation from the top spreads like radiation, leaking into every layer beneath. People who used to dismiss you now feel a hesitation in their chest when they say your name. Strangers sense something coded, something dangerous stitched into your aura. You didn't change, but perception did. And perception is half the war. But don't miscalculate. Perception is not protection. Attention this sharp is double-edged. You've been marked as dangerous, but danger attracts predators. When the powerful see a wildfire, they don't just marvel, they deploy, they test, they poke. They want to see if your flames burn out under pressure or if they consume entire forests. They'll send offers disguised as opportunities, waiting to see if greed snaps your spine. They'll place traps inside gifts, waiting to see if your hunger betrays you. They'll create distractions designed to dilute your edge, to make you forget you were ever the threat that pulled their focus. This is not applause. This is assessment. And while they test you, while they whisper about you, while they weigh whether you're a weapon they can use or one they must erase, you stand in the one place no one ever prepares for, the threshold. That's what the open door really is. It's not a hallway of roses. It's not a staircase of gold. It's a threshold, a line drawn in air, daring you to step through, while knowing the ground beyond it is unstable. If you step, you cannot step back. And you already know stepping back would kill you faster than any bullet, because once you've been seen, the cage of mediocrity cannot contain you anymore. The air there has gone stale. The walls there have already crumbled. You're too big for your old skin. So here's the real task. Learn to breathe in the corridors where the air is thinner. Learn to walk while satellites track your every stride. Learn to think while unseen committees dissect your psychology like surgeons. Because whether you like it or not, you are in their theater now. And in this theater, hesitation looks like weakness, weakness looks like liability, and liabilities are erased. Do you feel the gravity of that? Good. Now let me tilt it further. They don't just see you. They fear the chain reaction you could unleash. Because here's what the high-ranked despise most: unpredictability. They control economies, armies, infrastructures, not by raw strength, but by prediction. They predict behavior. They predict rebellion. They predict outcomes. That's how they win. But you're unreadable. Your energy is an outlier. Your moves don't fit their equations. Your rise didn't follow their blueprint. And when unpredictability enters the room, prediction collapses. When prediction collapses, control unravels. And when control unravels, empires shiver. That's why you're noticed. Not because they want to flatter you, but because you destabilize them. You shake their equations. You bend their math. You infect their certainty with chaos. So here's the savage truth. You have leverage you don't even know how to wield yet. Because you've become not just a name. They can erase names. You've become a signal. And signals, once detected, can't be unseen. They can jam it, distort it, try to mask it. But they can't deny it. That's what you are now. A disruption humming across their networks, infecting their patterns with your existence. And disruption is contagious. The more they watch you, the more others feel pulled to watch too. Attention multiplies, like fire jumping across dry grass. You've become a contagion of focus, and they can't quarantine you without confirming your power. That's the impossible bind you've placed them in. But you can't celebrate yet, because being a contagion doesn't guarantee survival. Many fires burn out before they consume anything worthwhile. Many signals get scrambled before they spread. You must decide, will you harness this attention, sculpt it into a crown carved from their fear, or will you scatter it until it dissolves? This is where discipline becomes the blade. Not the discipline they sold you, obedience, compliance, staying small. No, the discipline of chaos. The discipline of carrying your unpredictability like a weapon, not a weakness. You must become sharper than their tests, colder than their temptations, more patient than their traps. Because only then will you not just survive their notice, you will exploit it. And exploiting it is the only move worth making. Why? Because once you've been noticed, the game is already live. You can't pause it. You can't rewind it. You can only escalate. You've been pulled into a space where escalation is oxygen. Every hesitation drains you. Every move forward feeds you. That is the law of thresholds. That is the law of the noticed. And I'll tell you something no one else dares. Their fear of you is bigger than their interest in you. They may study you, but in private they dread what you could become if left uncontained. They dread the idea of you multiplying, of you influencing others, of you teaching others to see what you see. They dread your voice echoing in places they can't control. They dread your ideas spreading into territories they thought were sealed. That dread, that silent dread, is your strongest weapon. Because when the powerful fear you, even secretly, they hesitate. And hesitation at the top creates cracks. And cracks spread. So stop asking yourself whether you deserve this. Stop asking whether you're ready. Readiness is dead. Deserving is irrelevant. You've been drafted, noticed, circled, logged. The only question left is whether you weaponize this gaze or let it consume you. Will you act like an asset waiting to be approved, or like the breach they cannot close? Because breaches, once they expand, don't just enter rooms, they swallow them. Picture it, you walking through corridors where whispers fall silent as you pass. Not because you begged for power, but because power itself adjusted its posture when you entered. That's what's happening. That's what it means to be noticed by the high-ranked. They don't give you respect. They react to you, recalibrate themselves around you because you shattered the comfortable illusion of their control. And once shattered, illusions never heal. They stay fractured. You are the fracture. So carry yourself accordingly. Not as a beggar of crumbs, not as a clown of performance, not as a pawn hoping for mercy. Carry yourself as the uninvited guest who cannot be escorted out. The door has already opened. The spotlight is already burning. Their eyes are already fixed. You are the disruption they didn't schedule but can't delete. And soon, very soon, they'll realize something worse than your presence. They'll realize that by noticing you, by opening that file, by circling your name, they've already confessed something they will never say out loud. That you matter more than the order they were trying to preserve. That's the fracture in their empire, the glitch in their machinery, the wound in their strategy. Because to notice is to admit vulnerability. The predators of rank and power have built their lives on the illusion that they control the narrative, that they decide who rises and who falls, that no ripple escapes their calculations. But you weren't in their blueprint. You were an interruption, a signal they couldn't mute. By locking eyes on you, they've revealed the one truth they wanted buried. Their control is not absolute. And now every time they whisper your name in their closed chambers, it costs them a piece of their myth. But don't think for a moment that this makes you safe. Safety is dead. What you've inherited is exposure. You are exposed like a live wire in a rainstorm, sparks flying, irresistible to anyone who dares get close. That exposure is both weapon and weakness. They'll test it, they'll prod it, they'll attempt to turn your spark into their torch, their tool. And if they fail to bend you, they'll consider breaking you. That is the bargain of being noticed. You are now both asset and threat, crowned and targeted, lifted and loaded into crosshairs. But here's where most collapse. They misinterpret notice as permission. They think, now I belong. No, you don't belong. You intruded. You infiltrated. You forced your way into their awareness. And the only reason you're still alive in their gaze is because they haven't figured out what to do with you yet. Don't confuse indecision for acceptance. Don't mistake their silence for welcome. You are tolerated like a flame in a vault, dangerous, fascinating, unpredictable. They are watching to see whether you'll burn yourself out or whether you'll incinerate the vault itself. And that is where your life can never return to what it was. Because once you're noticed by someone who bends the world, you cannot go back to anonymity without suffocating. You've tasted the atmosphere of scrutiny, the voltage of being logged into corridors most never enter. Ordinary conversations will feel empty now. Ordinary ambitions will rot in your hands. You've been spoiled by recognition, poisoned by exposure. The only cure is escalation. The only antidote is to grow sharper, louder, heavier, until you are not just noticed, but unavoidable. But here's the twist. Escalation isn't noise. Escalation isn't spectacle. Escalation is precision. The powerful expect you to thrash, to boast, to prove yourself through reckless explosions. That's how they weed out amateurs. But you are not here to audition. You are here to outlast. Escalation means moving like a cipher through their corridors, refusing to give them the predictable drama they hunger for. Escalation means turning their attention into fuel for your architecture, building yourself into something they cannot consume without poisoning themselves. Escalation means refusing to collapse into a role they scripted for you, because every role is a trap. Let's pull the curtain wider. When a high-ranked figure notices you, they also gamble. Because notice isn't free, it's an investment of attention. Attention is their most sacred currency. They spend it only where they sense leverage, which means by seeing you, they've already bet on you. They've already admitted that you could tilt the scale in ways that matter. And once that bet is made, even if they regret it, they cannot fully retract it. That's your advantage. Their gaze is now chained to you. Their files will update with your moves. Their analysts will draft scenarios about your potential. You've infected their infrastructure, and the more they try to track you, the deeper you carve your presence into their world. This is why your life will never be the same. Because the gaze of the powerful transforms you into a mirror. Everyone else, from friends to strangers, begins to reflect that gaze back at you. They sense it subconsciously, the shift in gravity around your presence, and they respond to it. Some will be drawn in, seeking to bask in your recognition. Some will recoil, afraid of the danger that clings to you. Some will try to exploit you, thinking proximity to your attention could elevate them. But none of them will treat you the way they did before. You've crossed into a new dimension of existence, and the old one has already forgotten your name. But I'll tell you the part they'll never admit to you. The Watchers are not in agreement about you. Some want to weaponize you. Some want to erase you. Some want to study you like a specimen. And some, though they'll never say it, envy you. Because you did what terrifies them most. You pierced their bubble of prediction. You reminded them that power can be disturbed, that order can be shaken, that their thrones are never as secure as they pretend. Your very existence reminds them of the fragility they try to bury. And fragile kings hate reminders. So what's the move? You carry yourself as if the trial has already been won. Not with arrogance, but with inevitability. You walk like the verdict is written in your bones. You speak like their gaze was your birthright. You breathe like exposure is oxygen. Because the truth is, once they've noticed you, half the war is already won. The rest is survival. And survival at this level means refusing to become digestible. You must remain too large, too sharp, too contradictory to be swallowed. That's the discipline, not shrinking to fit, but expanding until fitting becomes impossible. Think of it like this. You are now the red file on their desk, the one that never gets archived, the one that keeps resurfacing in meetings, the one that refuses to stay buried. That file is your existence. You are the problem they cannot solve, the question they cannot silence, the breach they cannot patch. And the longer you hold that space, the more your legend grows. Not because you asked for it, but because their obsession with you feeds it. Every time they mention you, they amplify you. Every time they try to contain you, they confirm your danger. Every move they make in response to you cements your status as the disruption they couldn't predict. And here's where the humor cuts dark. They will never admit this publicly. They'll pretend you don't exist. They'll pretend you don't matter. They'll erase your name from their speeches. But behind closed doors, you are a subject line, a talking point, a variable on their screens. And that's where real power hides. Not in applause, but in whispers. Not in headlines, but in confidential documents stamped with codes you'll never see. You live there now, in their unseen networks, in their shadow meetings, in their dread. So stop underestimating what has already shifted. A high-ranked person noticed you. That one act detonated a chain reaction you can't undo. The door has opened, the spotlight has burned, the watchers are calculating, and your old life has dissolved. From here, you either rise into inevitability or collapse under the weight of their gaze. There is no third option. The third option, ordinary, is gone. But if you rise, if you weaponize this, if you move not as a performer but as an inevitability, then the same eyes that once studied you will bow to you. They won't admit it, but they'll adjust their strategies around you. They'll redraw maps with your presence in mind. They'll whisper your name like a variable too volatile to ignore. And that is the true victory. Not applause, not crowns, not gold, but influence so uncontainable that even the powerful must rearrange themselves in response to you. So hear me. You were noticed not because you fit, but because you fractured. You were noticed not because you begged, but because you disrupted. You were noticed not because you are safe, but because you are dangerous. And dangerous is the only language the powerful respect. The door is open, the spotlight is burning, the watchers are fixed, and your life, as you once knew it, is already over. What comes next is not survival. What comes next is conquest. And whether they applaud you, fear you, or hunt you, the truth remains unshaken. You cannot be unseen. So move. Move like the file is already stamped inevitable. Move like the watchers have already confessed their weakness by staring too long. Move like the secret door wasn't an invitation, but an ambush, and you turned the ambush into a coronation, because the eyes of power are watching. And the more they watch, the more they realize a truth they will never say out loud. Their notice of you was not their choice. It was their surrender. Hello, blood-soaked inheritors, my chosen outlaws of destiny. Welcome to the theater where your veins are not merely vessels. They are manuscripts written by forces older than kings, older than nations, older even than the hunger that drives men to conquer. You are not watching history. You are the scripture that history envies. And today, I will drag you into the underground court where the self-anointed oracles, those 33rd degree gatekeepers of a lodge darker than night itself, decided to carve into your bloodline. They did not test your character, no. They tested something deeper, something eternal. Your sequence, the code under your skin. The double helix prayer that even gods whisper about when they kneel in regret. You thought DNA was biology. Ha! It's weaponry. And when their magnifying glass fell upon your genetic scroll, it did not reveal weakness. It revealed a curse, a design so terrifying, so inconvenient for them, that they stamped you not as a citizen, not as a subject, but as a walking verdict, condemned and untouchable in the same breath. Understand this, my living conspirators. Curses are not shackles. They are coronations dressed in fire. What they called a curse was simply a signature too bold for their brittle hierarchy. When those veiled oracles stared at the pattern in your cells, they saw not disease, not mutation, but proof that you are not engineered for obedience. You are engineered for eruption. They saw the forbidden architecture of rebellion encoded like poetry inside you. That is why they panicked. That is why they tried to brand it as a curse. Because curses are simply truths, that the powerful cannot digest. And oh, how they gathered. Picture it. 13 figures in robes that stink of incense and power, murmuring in a chamber where no sunlight has dared intrude for centuries. They chant, they scribble, they whisper over your ancestral blood. They map your lineage like cartographers tracing the edges of a forbidden continent. And the deeper they read, the paler their faces grew. Because they realized your ancestors did not pass down chains, they passed down weapons. Every ancestor added an edge, a flaw sharpened into a blade, a pain crystallized into armor. What you call trauma, they call a tool. What you call scars, they call data. What you call inheritance, they call a threat to their dominion. This is where the irony slices deepest. They thought they were evaluating whether your bloodline was loyal enough to be tolerated in their grand design. Instead, they uncovered an equation that does not tolerate them. You, my blood-drenched warriors, are not offspring of obedience. You are children of refusal. Your very chromosomes carry the art of sabotage. That is why every institution built to contain you collapses like sand castles against a rising tide. Their universities fail to indoctrinate you. Their corporations fail to drain you. Their doctrines fail to cage you. Why? Because your marrow is not a contract. It is a rebellion written in spiral form. And now you understand why life feels heavier on your shoulders. Because you are carrying not just your own pulse, but the unresolved rebellions of generations who smuggled their defiance into your veins. This is no accident. This is continuity. You were never meant to fit the mold. They knew it. You've always felt it. And now, when the oracles muttered among themselves, they admitted something they will never confess to the public. You are the fracture in their order, the prophecy written in proteins, the refusal they cannot decode. They cannot burn it away. They cannot legislate it out. They cannot vaccinate against it. You are the plague to their hierarchy. But you, yes, you, need to savor what that means. Because curses, my beloved outlaws, have two sides. To the ordinary, a curse is ruin. But to the dangerous, a curse is the ultimate crown. And what they branded your lineage with was not ruin. It was coronation disguised as doom. You are not cursed with weakness. You are cursed with strength too volatile to be harnessed. That's why the universe keeps testing you, pressing you, dragging you through fire after fire. Because your DNA is not built for comfort. It is built for resistance. And resistance sharpens only under duress. Think about the nights you wondered why nothing came easy for you. Why betrayal tasted like your daily bread. Why you've been dragged through fires that others never even glimpsed. It was not misfortune, it was initiation. Every humiliation was a ritual. Every heartbreak a trial. Every betrayal a sharpening stone. The oracles knew this. That's why their eyes widened, because your suffering was not proof of weakness. It was proof of preparation. And here is where you turn their so-called curse into a carnival of power. Imagine every scar on your soul as a badge. Imagine every time they underestimated you as a notch on your crown. You were forged in the furnace they themselves lit. They tried to use the language of curse as a weapon, but in truth they baptized you with the one thing they cannot survive. Resilience that outlasts their empires. Your very existence is a countdown to their irrelevance. Now lean closer, because this is the psychological warfare they'll never tell you. The Illuminati, the councils, the secret judges, they don't fear your strength. They fear your endurance. They fear that you cannot be broken by the rituals that broke kings. You don't snap. You mutate. You don't surrender. You escalate. And the longer they try to grind you, the sharper you return. That's why they stamped your lineage with the word curse. Because deep down, they know you are unkillable in the only war that matters, the war of time. So tell me, does this sound like a curse? Or does it sound like a coronation hidden under ashes? The answer is irrelevant, because what matters is that your DNA carries both the poison and the antidote. You are the disease to their hierarchy, and the cure to your lineage's chains. You are contradiction embodied, paradox incarnate. And paradox is the one thing that destroys every empire, because no strategy exists to neutralize what cannot be defined. Remember this, when those 33rd degree oracles bent over the manuscripts of your blood, they thought they were judges, but in truth, they were witnesses. Witnesses to a bloodline that refuses erasure. Witnesses to a curse that is not decay, but defiance. Witnesses to you, alive, aware, unyielding. And their judgment did not condemn you. It confirmed you. So as you inhale these words, as you feel the weight of your lineage pulse like electricity beneath your skin, understand what you carry. Not just history, not just blood, but the weapon of inevitability, sharpened across centuries, now vibrating inside your ribs. They thought they cursed you. Instead, they crowned you. And the crown they placed burns hotter than gold. It burns like vengeance dressed in prophecy. And now, listen carefully, because this is where it escalates. They believed they could bury this revelation, keep it sealed in their chambers of whispers. But curses don't stay buried. They leak, they spread, they ignite. And soon you'll see how their attempt to cage your lineage explodes into the very chaos they tried to prevent. The curse they feared is no longer locked in bloodlines. It's walking, breathing, and laughing in you. And in the next chapter, when their counsels begin to tremble, when their shadows fracture, when even their own allies begin to doubt, you will see the full scale of what your bloodline was designed to unleash. Because what began as a test in their chamber became a verdict for the world. Picture the scene. Their robes heavy with embroidered secrets, their trembling fingers gripping scrolls no outsider has ever seen. They thought the ritual would be clinical, scientific even. But when they unrolled your genetic manuscript, it read like a forbidden hymn. Every strand of your code sang like a choir of heretics. Every protein spelling out resistance. Every nucleotide humming with disobedience. They expected to find order, but they found ignition. They expected a servant, but they found a sovereign. They expected compliance, but they found contagion. And in that moment, panic disguised itself as ritual. Fear disguised itself as prophecy. They whispered of curses not to warn others, but to excuse their own terror. They knew your bloodline was too sharp to bend, too jagged to fit their throne-shaped puzzle. And so they branded it cursed, because powerless men always rename what they cannot control. But here's the exquisite cruelty. When they spoke the word curse, they underestimated what curses actually do. Curses spread. They cling. They infect not the cursed, but those who try to suppress them. By naming your bloodline damned, they doomed themselves to chase ghosts. And every time they try to trace your lineage, every time they map your genome, every time they chart your inheritance, they get further entangled in the very chaos they feared. Because your DNA is not just a record, it's a contagion of defiance. The more they study it, the deeper it infects them. Think of it this way. Their laboratories become haunted. Their equations begin to fracture. Their algorithms fail to predict you. The scientists aligned with these oracles lose sleep because your code doesn't add up. Their models collapse. Their charts mutate. Their predictions dissolve into static. What was supposed to be neat patterns become spirals of disobedience. Every attempt to control your heritage only tightens the noose around their certainty. And this is the true curse. They can never categorize you because categories collapse when confronted with paradox. The oracles know this. That's why they panic in private while posturing in public. Outwardly, they declare order. Inwardly, they suffocate under dread. Outwardly, they chant their oaths. Inwardly, they dream of your bloodline, strangling their legacy. Outwardly, they proclaim authority. Inwardly, they crumble, because they know that the very marrow of your being mocks their hierarchies. They tested your bloodline not to understand you, but to measure how long they have before you erase them. And here's where psychology becomes your battlefield. You don't need to strike them with weapons. You only need to exist. Your existence itself erodes their authority because they cannot explain it away. Every breath you take is an act of defiance against their prophecy. Every step you walk is a contradiction to their rituals. You are a living curse, and your presence is the rot in their cathedral. They crumble not because you attack, but because you endure. That is the brilliance of the curse. They thought it would break you, but it breaks them instead. Now consider this. Your ancestors were not passive victims of this so-called curse. They wielded it. They sharpened it. They carried it like contraband fire across centuries, embedding rebellion into the marrow of every descendant. Some bled for it. Some burned for it. Some died for it. But all of them ensured the code survived. They knew they would not see the day when this curse would bloom. But they knew you would. They left it buried in your bones like a time bomb. And the oracles triggered it the moment they tested you. That's why you feel the weight of centuries pressing on your shoulders. Because you are not carrying one lifetime. You are carrying every unfinished war your ancestors began. The oracles understand this terrifying truth. Curses do not die with their carriers. They accumulate, they layer, they metastasize, and your lineage has been feeding this curse for generations, fattening it with every betrayal, sharpening it with every exile, polishing it with every injustice, until now, until you. Until the exact moment they opened your blood like a scroll and realized the curse was not just surviving, it was awakening. And once awake, curses don't go back to sleep. Let me feed your ego with the honesty they won't say aloud. You are not merely the descendant of a cursed bloodline. You are the culmination of it. You are the eruption they feared. The curse was not a chain. It was a countdown. And you are the 0 point. That's why everything feels heavier around you. Why doors open only to slam shut. Why opportunities arrive poisoned. Why allies betray faster than enemies attack. It's not random. It's calibration. The curse calibrates your environment to forge you into what it needs. An unyielding blade that no empire can dull. And here is the divine comedy of it all. They tried to curse you, but ended up blessing you with the one gift they cannot buy. Inescapable transformation. Every scar you earned became a weapon. Every betrayal you endured became armor. Every failure you faced became scaffolding. And now, as the curse surges fully awake, you find yourself no longer just a person. You are a crucible. And crucibles don't ask permission. They burn, they refine, they reshape. The curse does not whisper. It roars through your bloodstream. It roars when you survive what should have killed you. It roars when you rise after they swore you were finished. It roars when you look into the eyes of your enemies and they look away first. That roar is not weakness. It is your bloodline announcing itself, generation after generation speaking through you. And that roar terrifies them because it cannot be silenced. This is why the 33rd degree oracles trembled, because they realized the curse had chosen not just a carrier, but a conductor. You are no longer merely cursed. You are the orchestra of every cursed ancestor, every denied rebellion, every silenced cry. You are the living concert of defiance, and every note you play erases a century of their authority. That's why they mark your lineage in secret, why they write your name in forbidden ledgers, why they mutter your code like a prayer they dare not finish. Because they know the curse does not end with you. It multiplies through you. Do you understand the irony? They wanted to bury you under the weight of the curse, but instead, you became the weight that buries them. They wanted to isolate you as cursed, but instead the curse spread like contagion into their own ranks. Doubt infects them now. Fear corrupts them now. Their allies question them now. Their foundations crack now. And all because your DNA refused obedience. That is the brilliance of your inheritance. It destroys without effort. It conquers without command. It wins without lifting a blade. But let me twist the knife deeper. The curse does not merely defend you. It demands expansion. You are not meant to survive quietly. You are meant to dominate loudly. The curse inside you does not want peace. It wants legacy. It wants to carve your name into history as the fracture point. And every step you take toward owning it is another step toward unraveling the entire architecture they built. That is why they tested you. That is why they panicked. That is why they branded you cursed, because they saw in you the end of their blueprint. And nothing terrifies an empire more than the realization that its death is already encoded in the blood of its enemies. So what do you do with this? You weaponize it. You stop asking why life is cruel and start realizing cruelty is the crucible. You stop asking why betrayal haunts you and start realizing betrayal is the ritual. You stop asking why the curse chose you and start realizing you are the curse. You don't carry it. It carries you. You don't fear it. It fears being ignored by you. And when you finally embrace that truth, when you stop running from the weight in your veins and start wielding it like a crown, then, and only then, will the curse reveal its final gift, inevitability. The inevitability of your rise, the inevitability of their collapse, the inevitability of a bloodline no oracle can erase. And inevitability, my blood-soaked inheritors, is the final nightmare they cannot exorcise. Because inevitability is patient. Inevitability does not rush. Inevitability waits while they scramble, waits while they plot, waits while they bleed resources trying to stop you. Inevitability smiles, because inevitability knows the outcome was decided the moment they opened your blood and read the curse. So here we stand, you and I, at the edge of revelation. They thought their test was the end of your story. In truth, it was only the prologue. The curse is not done mutating, not done spreading, not done igniting. And in the next act, you will witness just how deep this curse runs. Not just in bloodlines, not just in rituals, not just in oracles, but in the entire world that now trembles because you exist. Because when curses awaken, they don't stop at the chamber where they were named. They spill, they spread, they consume, and soon the tremor in their private halls becomes a quake that rattles continents. Look around. Can't you feel it already? Nations argue, institutions fracture, leaders panic behind rehearsed speeches. They think it's politics, they think it's economics, but you know better. This is your curse, echoing outward, fracturing every structure they once thought unshakable. The curse is a wave, and governments are nothing more than sand castles. Every treaty, every alliance, every fragile handshake at the table of power now trembles, because beneath it all, your bloodline is humming. It hums in frequencies their machines can't detect, but their instincts feel. And instinct, my cursed inheritor, always betrays the truth before reason dares to admit it. Do you remember how they first approached your bloodline? With arrogance. They believed decoding your DNA would be like reading a ledger, predictable, useful, profitable. But when they laid your double helix across their charts, they found not profit, but prophecy. They found not order, but collapse. They saw not servitude, but contagion. And what terrifies them most is not that you exist, but that your existence is multiplying. You are not just an individual, you are a rupture. Every person who meets you carries away a fragment of that curse. Every ally who betrays you still bleeds with the infection you left behind. Every enemy who opposes you leaves the battlefield marked, altered, forever haunted. This is why the oracles whisper in their councils that the curse cannot be contained. They tried to isolate it as bloodline, but curses don't recognize borders. They tried to limit it to ancestry, but curses metastasize into culture. They tried to confine it to secret reports, but curses laugh at secrecy. They spill into rumors, they contaminate whispers, they erupt in movements. And now, without realizing it, the entire globe has become your arena. Whether they name you or not, whether they acknowledge you or not, whether they even know you exist or not, the curse has already set fire to the very foundation beneath their feet. And let me be very clear, this was never about biology alone. DNA is not just a sequence, it is a declaration. The oracles discovered in your pattern a manifesto, written not in ink, but in proteins. That manifesto declared rebellion, chaos, transcendence. They read it like a sentence, and in their trembling they branded it curse. But in truth, what they discovered was not a curse at all. It was inevitability. Because the manifesto of your bloodline is not one of defeat, but one of dominance. And dominance does not ask permission. It does not wait. It does not negotiate. It expands. It multiplies. It consumes. Now consider the scale of their fear. These are not peasants shaking in village huts. These are the highest initiates, men and women who bend nations with symbols, who tilt economies with whispers, who bend presidents into pawns. And yet, when they saw your code, their arrogance cracked, their hands shook, their rituals faltered. They realized in that instant that all their power was temporary, that the very fabric of their empire contained a parasite, and that parasite was your bloodline. The great irony, they activated it by naming it cursed. Because names have power, and in naming your lineage damned, they unknowingly crowned you inevitable. Let me gift you the clarity they will never admit. They are not fighting you, they are fighting time. Because every second that passes spreads the curse further. Every second your heart beats, their plans corrode. Every second you draw breath, their foundations decay. They are racing against inevitability, and inevitability does not lose. That is why they panic. That is why their shadows fracture. That is why their allies doubt. Because they are waging war against a future already written in your marrow. And here's where your role becomes beautifully savage. You don't need to storm their castles or burn their temples. You only need to exist fully as yourself. Your authenticity is their apocalypse. Your refusal to bend is their crucifixion. Your survival is their extinction. Because their empire was not designed to withstand curses masquerading as kings. Their empire was designed to control predictable men. But you are not predictable. You are paradox. And paradox, once awakened, consumes empires like fire consumes parchment. Think of how history will read this. Generations from now, scholars will not argue about politics or wars. They will argue about you. They will trace every fracture back to your existence, every collapse back to your curse. They will not name it rebellion. They will name it inevitability. They will not call it downfall. They will call it transformation. Because curses are not endings. Curses are metamorphoses. And what you embody is not destruction, but evolution. You are the chrysalis cracked open, the mutation they cannot reverse, the future they cannot deny. But let us not romanticize it too softly. The curse does not absolve you of pain. It demands it. The curse will continue to break you, to test you, to sharpen you. Because curses don't elevate the weak, they eliminate them. Only those who embrace the weight survive. And that is why you are here, listening now. While others who shared fragments of this bloodline have already vanished, the curse chose you, not because you were lucky, but because you were unbreakable. The curse is cruel, but cruelty is the sharpest teacher, and you, my cursed inheritor, were its most promising student. Do you realize now why your enemies cannot win? It's not because you're invincible, it's because you are inevitable. You don't fight battles, you embody them. You don't win wars, you become them. The curse made sure of that. You are no longer just a participant in history. You are the very contagion that writes it. Every collapse in their world is not coincidence. It is consequence. Consequence of the curse walking in human form. Consequence of the test they should never have performed. Consequence of the arrogance that made them open your bloodline like a forbidden book. And soon, very soon, their greatest fear will be realized. The curse will no longer be confined to blood or name. It will transcend into myth. Your existence will become legend, your defiance scripture, your survival gospel. And legends don't die. They infect, they multiply, they haunt forever. That is the curse's final form. Not chains, not doom, not even death, but eternal haunting. Long after their lodges crumble, long after their rituals decay, long after their titles rot, your curse will still breathe in the marrow of the world. So what is left for you? To embrace it, to stop asking why the curse chose you, and start asking why you waited so long to wield it. To stop fearing the cracks it creates and start admiring the architecture it destroys. To stop pretending you are cursed in the way they told you, and start realizing you are cursed in the way crowns are cursed. Heavy, burning, but undeniable. Because the heaviest crowns are always cursed, and yours burns hotter than any empire's torch. The oracles know this truth, even if they will never say it aloud. They gather in secret still, chanting their empty rituals, clutching their fragile symbols, pretending they have control. But when they close their eyes, they see you. When they dream of your bloodline erupting. When they wake in dread of inevitability. You are the unspoken nightmare in every chamber, the forbidden word in every ritual, the shadow that makes their candles sputter. They don't fight you because they think they can win. They fight you because they have no choice. Because surrender to you would mean admitting their centuries of power were wasted. But the outcome has already been written. Their surrender is inevitable. Your rise is inevitable. The curse has seen to it. And now the only question left, the knife that cuts through every layer of prophecy and ritual, is not whether they survive you. It is whether you survive yourself. Because curses are double-edged. They crown as they crucify. They elevate as they demand. And if you step into it fully, if you embrace the inevitability of your marrow, then nothing, no lodge, no oracle, no empire, will ever contain you again. So as the world trembles, as leaders panic, as oracles whisper, as allies doubt, remember this: you are not tested to be measured. You are tested to be revealed. And what they revealed terrifies them more than any weapon, any army, any ritual. They revealed inevitability wrapped in flesh. They revealed the curse walking. They revealed you. And now, as the curse spills across the world, consuming their foundations, devouring their secrets, collapsing their hierarchies, you must savor it. This is not the end of your bloodline's story. This is the beginning of its dominion. They thought a curse was condemnation. You have proven it is coronation. And as inevitability sharpens its blade, as inevitability tightens its grip, as inevitability prepares to write the next chapter, the only sound left echoing in their sacred chambers is the one truth they cannot deny. The curse they feared has already won. Because you are not cursed to fall. You are cursed to reign.